Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this session on how to give wings to your brand with Amazon Launchpad. I'm Anuj and I lead the Launchpad program at Amazon India. I've been with Amazon for almost 4 years now, and most of this time I've been associated with the Launchpad program. And it's been an exciting journey for me, helping startups as well as emerging brands in India scale up on Amazon and at the same time being part of a program that is scaling up itself. Also with me today is Aisha, and I will hand it over to her for a quick introduction as well.
Hey, thank you so much for that, Anuj. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today with you. I'm Aisha, and I lead the brand experience and growth charter for Launchpad. That essentially means that I work on ensuring that brands who are part of the Launchpad program grow in an accelerated manner and they unlock as much as possible in terms of benefits and opportunities for these brands to grow. It's been an exciting journey for the past year and a half with Launchpad, and it's very gratifying to see our brands grow at a very accelerated rate. So look forward to sharing a lot of insights with you today on this. Over to you, Anuj.
Thanks, Aisha. So, a quick overview of the session agenda next. We'll start with a program introduction and speak in detail about how it offers various services, assets, tools, which are going to help build your brand on Amazon and in the online world. Towards the end, we will share ways for you to reach out to us for more details if you would like. And if you are interested in joining the program, how to kind of go about doing so. I will start the session with a quick video to introduce the program and then explain more about what the Launchpad program is all about.
Every product has its own story of creation, a singular path of brave choices and hard decisions. But to move from mind to market, great products need a place where they can be discovered and enjoyed. Amazon Launchpad is a springboard for brands to launch their ideas and innovations for the world to see. Amazon Launchpad is also a place where you can explore exciting brands with convenience and trust. New innovations straight to your door. Discover today's brightest brands with Amazon Launchpad.
So Launchpad is essentially a brand building program for startups and emerging brands. And these are essentially startups which have a consumer retail product to sell. We understand that the needs of this specific cohort of startups and brand owners is often different from other sellers which we have on Amazon. And that is the whole intention of the program, why it's been created. Till date, we've had more than 1,800 emerging brands that have benefited from Launchpad services and features since the program's inception in India. Of these 1,800, we have over 250 brands that have gone on to become crorepati brands, as we call them, on Amazon. The program itself is a global program with presence in more than 10 marketplaces across the world. And that, of course, includes India as well. So this is basically the flow of the program and how we have planned interventions and support throughout the life cycle of a brand on Amazon. Our focus is on creating long-term value for the brands that we onboard. And in doing so, we have planned these interventions, which are spread across four distinct phases. The initial phase is all about launch support, where we help brands which are onboarding and are new to selling on Amazon. In this phase, we provide assistance with account setup, cataloging, and so on. Right after you're done with this setup comes the optimization phase. In this phase, we provide access to tools and services which are meant for brands specifically. And this is then followed by driving discoverability to your products, We do this through access to different marketing assets that we have as part of Launchpad. And eventually, once you have more traction, we provide you with inputs which will help fuel your growth further on Amazon. This includes actionable insights from our marketplace intelligence, early access to tools and services which we are developing for the benefit of our brands. And all of this is delivered through the Launchpad brand development associates, who is a point of contact or a person who will help you and guide you in your journey of selling on Amazon and help you out with different aspects of your journey along the way. So some of these details are actually going to be covered in the next few slides. And I will hand it over to Aisha at this point to help explain more about these features.
Hey, thanks, Anuj, for that. All right, so we'll quickly jump on to some of the things we do as part of the Launchpad program to get your brand started and essentially, jumpstart your brand in terms of the growth journey on Amazon. Like Anuj mentioned, each brand gets a brand development associate or consultant who is assigned to exclusively work with the brand and provide dedicated inputs around multiple aspects, anything related to selling on Amazon, right? You see a few of those benefits on the screen, and I'll quickly walk you through what these entail. The first benefit that's provided, which is critical for every brand, is the brand registry enrollment. Now, our brand associate will help you unlock the brand registry access, and they'll help you set it up and understand the associated benefits. Currently, brands must have a registered trademark to be eligible for enrollment. Amazon Brand Registry essentially gives you access to tools that enable you to more accurately represent your brand, protect your brand, and find and report violations and share information that can proactively help avoid violations. This will also unlock access to several assets such as the A+ brand store, brand analytics, and sponsored brand ads. Moving on, what you see on the screen there is premium A+ content. So this is essentially how your product detail page looks, the different visuals and imagery and the text that you see there. The premium A+ content is a differentiated template that's provided by Amazon Launchpad for Launchpad brands. And this helps you communicate your value proposition to brands in a very effective manner. You can create rich detail pages and connect with shoppers on your brand story, right? The other piece that this obviously also unlocks for you is creation of the brand store. Now, a brand store is a unique property where you can talk about your brand narrative and journey in a lot of detail. You can include your flagship products and your entire portfolio there and talk about your brand's value proposition in a lot more detail. So these assets essentially help your customers understand your brand ethos and the whole narrative, and are often seen to be, very critical in improving the sales for brands. Right? So assistance with creating this brand store, ensuring that you have all the right information to move ahead on this and have this set up for your brand, is something that we look at. There are several processes in terms of whitelisting and creation, which our associates help you with once you're on board the program. The other bit that you see here is marketing collaterals. Now, Launchpad as a program has an exclusive asset, and we have an exclusive storefront. If you go on the homepage of Amazon.in, you'll see Launchpad listed under programs and features. For your brand to be featured on this program storefront, there are a bunch of material that we need from you in terms of visuals and imagery, which our associate collects from you when you onboard, and they ensure that you get the right discoverability, and they ensure that, especially if you're a new brand, cold start is mitigated by providing discoverability on some of these assets. What you would need to do is to share these collaterals so that we can help you grow your brand. This includes guidelines for merchandising on Amazon as well. So moving on, there are a few more benefits that we do, and these are essentially audits that we conduct to ensure that your brand is on the right track in terms of growing on Amazon. So the first that you see there is the buy box audit. So buy box is nothing but the two yellow tickers you see whenever you shop on Amazon in terms of adding to cart and buying it now. Now, there are several mechanisms by which a buy box gets decided and awarded to a seller or a person who's selling the particular product on Amazon. We ensure through our buy box audit that you are guided in the right manner in terms of what is to be done to be winning the buy box. So the more you win the buy box, the more is the chance of you increasing sales for your brand, right? These factors include faster delivery times, customer reviews, and different other factors. Our associates guide you through this process and ensure that you are provided and equipped with the right information to ensure that you are maximizing your chances of winning the buy box. The other type of audit mechanism that we also provide for our brands is what we call as catalog quality audit. Now, catalog or product detail page is essentially the page where you see all the details about your brand and your product. There are certain mechanisms which have to be which are put in place to ensure that you provide as much detail as possible about your product to the customer. So this audit essentially gives you insight into where you stand as a brand in terms of catalog quality, and our associates guide you in terms of what are the missing pieces and how you can better your catalog quality score by ensuring that you meet all the criteria for a good catalog quality. So a good detailed page with all the right information essentially means that a customer who's visiting your page to review your product has a higher chance of purchasing your product, right? The other piece is Prime activation. As you all know, customers love Amazon Prime. We often see customers sort of turning on the Prime tag before shopping for products as well. So Prime membership activation is a very critical lever, especially for a new brand to get launched on Amazon and be successful and ensure that Prime customers are considering them for purchase. Prime membership comes with a lot of benefits around 1 day, 2 day delivery to over 100 cities. And there are several Prime member deals that are running. So again, to improve the chances of, making these sales on Amazon and to increase your sales potential, we encourage that you activate Prime, and our associate help you in terms of how to get this activation done. Apart from this, there are several promotions that run on Amazon as a platform. There are deals, there are coupons, there are several offers that run during events, sale events as well. Our brand development associates essentially help you with unlocking these promotional features. They inform you in terms of how to make the choice in terms of these promotional features, how to activate them using the tools that are available on Amazon. So these are essentially what I just walked you through are hygiene inputs, which should have a positive impact on your listings and ensure that your flywheel in terms of your journey of selling on Amazon is kickstarted. Now I would hand over to Anuj to sort of provide a little bit more detail in terms of some of the discoverability levers that we have as part of the program.
Thanks, Aisha. So yes, once the product listings are optimized, the next is to become discoverable to the right customers. So the Launchpad program will help you drive visibility to your products. We have multiple marketing channels and assets through which we do that. The next few slides will give you a quick overview of some of these properties that will allow you to become more discoverable to customers on Amazon. The first one that I want to start with is actually the exclusive storefront that we have for Launchpad brands within the Amazon India marketplace. This is where customers can visit and discover unique, differentiated products from Launchpad brands in India. We use this storefront to highlight all our brands through a variety of different marketing themes and collections on this page. If you look closely, you will see some of the themes on this page include the new to Launchpad, right? This is where you will get your first visibility slot once you onboard to the program and you are through your optimization phase. There is a section on best-selling products from Launchpad. There are category pages that we have for brands on the program. Featured brand section. There is also Launchpad collections, which I'll talk more about in the next few slides. We have a specific slot for products which are on promotion, such as deals and coupons. And of course, there's also the hero banner right on the top of the page itself. There is actually a similar storefront that can also be accessed from the Amazon mobile app. One of the ways you can navigate to the Launchpad storefront from the mobile app is through a permanent ingress under programs and features on the Amazon app. So Launchpad collections, we keep refreshing the store with new collections based on different themes. And this helps us ensure best customer experience, because every time the customers visit the store again, there is obviously something new for them to explore. But at the same time, this also allows us to highlight different brands across many different categories on the program. Since Launchpad is category agnostic and we have products from across many different categories. We have a calendar of these events and themes that we put together for the entire year. And some of the themes that we include on an ongoing basis include things like products which are related to gifting, or say products which are high on innovation and help make customers' life more efficient. There are also themes around hobbies and fun. So that's the idea. We try to keep the page very topical. We also build in some seasonal themes at times. For example, during festivals such as Raksha Bandhan or Valentine's Day, where shoppers might be looking for certain specific kinds of products, we try and highlight and surface our brand selection to these customers as well. So Watch and Shop is actually a very new shopping experience for Launchpad customers to discover these differentiated sort of brands and learn more about the features and the story behind these brands and their products through engaging videos. This is actually a great way to showcase products to customers, especially where the intent to purchase is high and some of the features cannot be easily explained through, say, static text or images. And a lot of our brands have used this asset and have seen high customer engagement on these pages. Actually, in some cases, some of our brands have seen higher engagement even compared to their standard listing pages on Amazon. And this is again a great way to showcase your brand over and above some of the assets which Aisha mentioned earlier, such as the EBC or the enhanced brand content and the brand stores, right? Apart from this, we have, of course, Amazon India Marketplace's homepage, which is one of the most visited web pages on the entire internet. And we run constant marketing campaigns to highlight the Launchpad selection on these pages of Amazon, which get high traffic. And this helps introduce your products to millions of Amazon customers across India. We've recently also introduced Launchpad social media handles. We are present on Instagram and Facebook. So we will actually share the details of these handles towards the end of the presentation. But please do engage with us on these handles. We can leverage, of course, cross-leverage the traffic and our followers that we've built. We are actively using these channels, and it also gives us an opportunity to highlight brands of the Amazon ecosystem as well. And especially during, for example, COVID, when the lockdown happened, we introduced a series of engaging brand-led Instagram sessions where we did workshops around different themes and interacted with customers, gave the brands an opportunity to showcase their products, share useful tips around health, routines, life hacks, which brands wanted to share with customers. And this helped, of course, generate a followership for them as well. So this is another great asset which we have started building off Amazon as well. When we talk of Amazon visibility, Launchpad brands can also benefit from PR and media, which we sometimes manage to generate. We're constantly looking for opportunities to actually showcase our brands. And for example, the first picture in this slide is the front page ad, which was published across national dailies, where we showcased small sellers and brands on the program who helped make our last year's Diwali festival successful. We actually did something similar and provided visibility to brands during other flagship events such as Small Business Day and Prime Day and the Independence Day sale, which we had last year. And we'll continue to do similar things this year as well. We do topical releases as well at times during the year, where we feature certain brands in product listicles, and we would be happy to engage with any of you on those, of course, if the products fit into the themes. We are also happy to provide support actually in case you have any media releases planned for your brand, and if you're looking for support from Amazon in terms of any aspect of the release. Please reach out to us in that case through your point of contact in Launchpad, and we'll be glad to explore how we can help. So that kind of very briefly introduces some of the marketing assets which help make your brands discoverable. We've actually created a cohesive visibility package based on all these assets. We have two sort of ongoing marketing packages that we have for brands. The first one is a launch marketing package, which is provided to any brand which onboards to the program. And for the initial period of time, we have certain assets which are allocated specially for new brands. I mentioned earlier in the presentation, for example, we have a section for new to Launchpad brands on our storefront. We have similar other assets which cover brands during this launch marketing package phase. And once you are through with all the assets in this initial phase, you essentially graduate your brand to an ongoing marketing package where we have a different set of assets which are dedicated to continuously provide visibility to our brands on an ongoing basis for the duration of. And you can learn more about these marketing packages when you reach out to us. At this point, I think I'll just hand it over again to Aisha to talk about the next phase of our engagement for brands on the program.
So thanks, Anuj, for walking us through those detailed assets we have in terms of discoverability on the Launchpad program. A lot of you as customers of Amazon.in would have been able to relate to these assets and where the feature is provided as part of Launchpad program. Now we've talked about launch. We've talked about optimization, and we've talked about discoverability. So that essentially means if you're a new brand, what does a Launchpad program do to help you launch? what does the Launchpad program do to help you settle in and optimize and get the hygiene inputs going, and what else is offered in terms of discoverability and mitigating cold start. That's what we've spoken about so far. Now we move on to the section called growth, where we talk about what does the Launchpad program do in order to help you grow at an accelerated pace, right? So that's essentially what we'll cover in this section. I'll start off by talking about the high value strategic advisory and insights that we provide as part of Launchpad. What you see on the screen right now on the slide are some of the insights that we provide, which are exclusive to Launchpad brands. And these are designed to help you grow in a brand life cycle in a very streamlined manner, right? And I'll quickly walk you through some of these. The first one that you see on your screen is events advisory. So as you know, there are these sale events which happen on Amazon, at different parts of time in the year. So there is an advisory called events advisory, which is a structured guidance in terms of and customized inputs in terms of how you can maximize your chances of increasing sales and growing during sale events like the Great Indian Festival sale and different other sale events that happen on Amazon. These essentially are tailor-made, and they provide you critical inputs which will help you understand how you should be prepared to maximize your chances of success during a sale. The second one that we also have is advisory in terms of how to set up sponsored products, how to leverage sponsored ads in order to grow your brand. Now, as a new brand, it might be quite overwhelming for you to understand the whole Amazon ecosystem and the different dashboards that you have access to. Now, however, sponsored ads and campaigns are a very critical part in making sure that you sort of show up as a brand in the customer search. So there is a very structured guidance which is designed depending on whether you're a newly launched brand in Amazon or you're a brand that spent about 30, 60, 90 days on Amazon Launchpad, to decide and give you inputs in terms of how you can optimize your sponsored ads usage. It gives you basic guidances in terms of setting it up. And obviously, all of this is backed up by our associates who are always available to help you out and set up sponsored ads. These campaigns help you improve your ROI, and they drive the relevant visibility that you're looking out for. The other set of insights that we also provide are, what you see on the screen in terms of selection insights. So as, given our understanding of the marketplace and the market intelligence that we have, there are certain insights that are provided to brands in terms of how a certain category is doing or what categories are trending very well, right? So that brands, especially startups who have a very small turnaround time in terms of launching new products or enhancing their portfolio, are able to act on it. So these are insights which are gathered on a quarterly basis using several data sources, and these are provided to you based on the category that you operate in. Now, these are actionable insights, and some of them could be related to products, some of them related to market basket building, and some of them related to how to position your brand, right? These are gathered by the team, and these are put together, and you get these as quarterly flashes in your mailbox. And obviously, these are again supported by brand associate consultations if the brand wishes to have a deep dive. Apart from this, there are also several other high-value advisories that we've recently worked on last year. One of them is around how to launch a new product, right? If you want to enhance your portfolio, if you want to launch a completely new product, what are the categories you should potentially go after? What's trending right now? Especially last year was a huge learning in terms of the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. There were several new categories that emerged. Who knew that masks could become such a big deal, right? And masks could become such a big category. So at this point in time, we were actually able to support our brands and give the right inputs on time in terms of what sort of products they could venture into, given the uncertainty of the situation that we were all in. The fact that we were able to provide these inputs on time ensured that a lot of our brands actually were able to grow and also help our customers by providing the right sort of products at during the pandemic, especially during the onset about a year back. The other set of insights that we do is also obviously how to reduce your returns. As a new seller, it can be quite overwhelming to sort of be in a place where you're not able to control returns. So seller controllable returns are specific data driven points that we are able to gather, and there are recommendations that the team shares in terms of how you can reduce the return rate that your brand is facing. Apart from this, there are several nudges that we share on a periodic basis. These range from how to improve your deal readiness, promotion readiness. These range from how to improve your IDQ, CAQ quality, the audit that I spoke about earlier. These are all structured, and they sort of reach you either through your Seller Central login, or they reach you through your mailbox at a periodic frequency. Right. All of these that I just spoke about are new and exclusive program benefits and advisories that are specific to Launchpad brands, that have been tailor-made and custom-made, and we're constantly on the lookout to see how we can improve this further and ensure that we keep providing relevant, meaningful, actionable insights for you on an ongoing basis. Now, moving on, apart from these insights, we also provide what we call as exclusive benefits. Now I'll spend a minute to help you understand what these benefits are. So these are essentially opportunities that we unlock for our brands in terms of tie-ups, either with internal partners or external partners, to help you grow your brand, both in terms of discoverability, which means being noticed by your customer, and in terms of sales, which essentially means growth. Right now, the first benefit that you see here is Experts Access. This is a new benefit that we've launched this year. This is the first ever formal structured mentorship initiative that we've started off exclusively for Launchpad brands. So here we have about 3 ways in which you can access experts, and as a growing brand, learn from the best in the startup ecosystem. So the first one is what we call as Brand Cafe, which is a monthly fireside chat session of sorts, where we bring on experts in different areas which are very important for startups, and we do a fireside chat session, which is a moderated panel discussion, where they share a lot of learnings and insights for our brands to learn from. The second one is what we call as a speed mentoring, or a one-on-one mentoring session, which is a short 15-20 minute session that you get to have, where you can interact with VCs, industry experts, and learn from them. And essentially you can network with them in an environment which is often difficult to get. So that's another access that we've unlocked. The third one is a one-on-one mentorship, where we ensure that there is a 3-month mentorship that happens between brands and these experts from VCs, industry, or any other SMEs from the startup ecosystem. As per your choice and the VC's choice, you both can figure out mutual convenient times, and Amazon is the facilitator in terms of helping you reach out to these experts. So the core of this being the fact that today there are very few formal connects which exist, where you can actually reach out to folks that you want to reach out to, or like-minded folks in the startup ecosystem, and talk about different topics like, how do I grow my brand, how do I become ready for funding, etc. So that's the intent. Apart from this, we have several internal and external partnerships with service providers, whether it's creating your A+ content, or whether it's helping you out with financial and accounting management, which can be very overwhelming for a startup. Right? We have a host of service providers in the Amazon network, and we make sure that you're able to easily access them and get in touch with them, so that you can solve your the challenges that your startup is facing. We also have this benefit called global selling, where where we enable our brands to sell global for in specific regions, literally with the click of a couple of buttons, as you will see in one of the seller testimonials that we have. So essentially, it's a very simplified onboarding process. If you're sort of fulfilling a checklist of requirements in terms of what you need to have for global selling, we enable you to do that, and we also connect you with the account management team who will help you expand globally. Apart from this, there are also several product solutions that we work on as a team. There are several product pilots that are ongoing. These range from ML-based customer review products to sampling products to products which give you discoverability on a very prime asset on Amazon.in, right? We are constantly on the lookout for these benefits, and we strive to continuously unlock some of these benefits for our brands. So that sort of gives a very brief view in terms of what are the growth levers that we unlock for your brand, and that sort of brings us to the end of what entails the growth bucket in your Launchpad journey. Now, quickly moving on, what you see on your slide is essentially, how the Premium A+ content slide looks like. As I'd informed before in the beginning of the session, this is exclusive access provided by Launchpad for your brand. What you can do here is you can publish differentiated content, you can use really cool imagery, and you can communicate your brand proposition in a very convincing manner to your customers, right? As you can see, this page gives a lot of rich information, and it's a clear competitive advantage over other sellers in the marketplace, right? Just so we are clear, this is something that's pretty much self-serve, right? If you need additional guidance, your brand associate can help you, but essentially these are templates that are enabled for you, and with the click of a few buttons you can upload videos, and you can do a lot with this premium enhanced brand content page. Apart from this, there are also certain tools that we provide to ensure that you are getting the right information at the right time about all these benefits and services and our constantly evolving program, where we try our best to keep servicing our brands in the best manner possible. So one such tool is Brand HQ. So this is an exclusive self-service portal where you can track all the program benefits. You can understand what are the new benefits which have been launched. You can look at event calendars to see what's happening when, for instance, the Brand Cafe event I spoke about, is that coming up this month? Who is the speaker? When is it happening? All of that information, you can look it up here, even if you missed the email on that. You can catch up with trending news and articles, and there is a contact mechanism that exists by which you can reach out to your associate or the program folks in case you've been unable to reach out for some reason. Then there is also a link that exists where you can submit the marketing collaterals we spoke about earlier, right? Banners, brand logo, founder images. So the intent behind this is that it's a one-stop destination of sorts where you can do everything that you need to do to ensure you get the best benefit out of Launchpad program, right? You can learn about the benefits, you can submit details needed for benefits, you can understand what benefits are, and you can contact us if you need more information. So that in a nutshell is Brand HQ. So we've spoken a lot about the program itself. We've spoken about the 4 phases, how we help your brand grow: launch, optimization, discoverability, and growth. Now, obviously, you must be thinking, how do you get on the program, right? So Launchpad is an invite-only paid program with an application-based process. So you can reach out to us through our storefront, where you will see an apply for Launchpad link, or by visiting services.amazon.in, or by emailing us at contactlaunchpad@amazon.com. We encourage all brands to apply. There is a screening process, and our associates will get in touch with you to see whether you are able to fit the criteria for the program. We broadly align our definition of a startup or an emerging brand with that of Government Startup India initiative. So we look for 4 things in brands: differentiated, unique products being number 1, a strong brand creation or a brand building mindset, Number two. Then number three is a high bar on customer experience. Like the brand should be intent on creating the right customer experience, prime availability, A+ brand stores, high quality marketing collaterals that we spoke about. And number four, a very high bar on the brand's own performance. So we look at metrics like return rate, LDR, ODR, etc., to ensure that if you're an existing seller on Amazon, how your performance has been, and what's the bar that you keep in terms of selling on Amazon already. The Amazon Launchpad program itself, the duration is 12 months as per our terms and conditions, although both parties have the right to end the engagement by giving a notice. Most of our brands are with us at least for this duration is what we've seen, because they find the benefits to be proportionately very, very helpful in getting them set up. And many also choose to continue being on the program even beyond this duration, right? Now, obviously, there must be a question around how the commercials work. The program has a subscription fee of 5% incremental on your standard selling fee on Amazon. For scaled up brands, we have another fee tier, which is revised to 2% once they reach a certain scale of growth. It's important to note that at Launchpad, we are essentially your partners in building and scaling your brand online. And our intention is largely to create long-term value through proactive engagement rather than just provide operational account management. So now that we've spoken a lot about what Launchpad is, what we do through the 4 stages of your brand's growth journey, we'll take a minute to quickly, see what a brand who's already been on Launchpad has to say about being part of the program. So here's a video for you, from our brand Slurp Farm.
I'm the co-founder of a company called Slurp Farm. We're a kids' food brand. We're focused on getting Indian kids to eat healthy. We're a food company and it's an essential service. The idea really was to simplify this process for a mum. We have put together those 7 grains that make a really, really power-packed breakfast or a snack for your child. Right at the beginning, at the lockdown stage, we called our relationship manager at Amazon and at Launchpad, and it was amazing. They really tried very hard, I would say, to keep warehouses open, to keep things functional, essentially for essential services. Amazon has always supported women entrepreneurs, whether by telling our story on social media, through the Launchpad program, or more recently to help us go global. Slurp Farm is now available on Amazon UK. Here in India, we're really excited because we have the holiday season in front of us with Diwali, the Great Indian Festival. Slurp Farm is going to help families across the country celebrate Diwali in this time of COVID, where I think we all need a little bit of happiness. Amazon gives you unparalleled reach. Really make use of the platform. Think very carefully about how you're going to market, what are the keywords that people search for in order, and when should you show up. The magic of Amazon is the ability for you to get your product into the hands of many, many, many people. This gives you an opportunity to get people to try you. Don't miss it. Happy to partner with Amazon to do just that.
I also want to just quickly run through a few other Launchpad brands which have benefited from the program so far. The first of these is Yoga Bar, which has, of course, gone on to become a household name in the grocery category and has launched several new products along the way. We also have Peabody or Sirona. Deep has made great strides in the feminine hygiene and personal care space of products. And this is actually one of the brands which has leveraged our inputs on new opportunities, which Aisha mentioned just a while ago. And they've used it to diversify into related subcategories, and they've been successful in the launch of those new products. A few other brands and what they have to say about us here on the screen. Mamaearth, of course, was one of the first brands to have joined the Launchpad program in India back in December 2016. Today, it's one of the biggest HPC or health and personal care category brands in the country, and they have a strong focus on non-toxic products, of course. Vadam Teas is another one of India's breakout tea brands that has gone on to develop a global customer base. They've leveraged both the Launchpad program as well as Amazon's global selling infrastructure to actually make their products loved by customers around the world. These are just some of our success stories. In conclusion, so the Launchpad program is basically a guided brand building program, and we leverage different levers available on Amazon, and we spoke in detail about them. Right from launch support, helping you with creating your seller account on Amazon, getting registered on brand registry, getting access to fulfillment channels for Prime enablement, then moving on to assistance with access to branded content such as enhanced brand content, EBC as we call it, or some of you may know it as A+ pages, as we talked about, and even brand stores, brand analytics, and so on and so forth. Then we talked about through the Launchpad storefront have different thematic pages, social handles, the watch and shop page. We also have early access that we provide to brands on the program, to certain pilots and features that we are developing. And lastly, we have actionable insights to help you grow on Amazon, for the high value advisories and the benefits which Aisha talked about. All of this is, of course, provided through the Launchpad Brand Development Associates. It's also important to note that at Launchpad, we consider ourselves partners in helping you build and scale your products and your brand online. And our intention is to create a long-term value proposition for you and engage on an ongoing basis in a very proactive manner, rather than only providing you with operational account management support. So that is our intention, and hope the previous slides helped clarify some of the ways in which we do that. So this slide details out the different ways you can reach out to us. There is an email ID there, contact launchpad@amazon.com. You can write into us if you require more information, or you can directly submit an application at the link which is mentioned here. It should take you about 10 to 15 minutes to fill up the program application form. We also have the social media handles as promised listed here, both on Facebook as well as Instagram. Do connect with us there. And this brings us to the end of this session today on how to give wings to your brand with Amazon Launchpad. We hope it was helpful for you all, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you all for joining us today for the session. We hope you found it useful. Please do fill in the feedback form below and let us know what you liked or what you didn't like. We wish to keep getting better and growing together. Thank you.